I want to talk to you today a little bit about what it's like to live with a stroke, with having had a stroke at some point. I had a stroke whenever I was 2 years old. Well, I gotta tell you, it's not easy at all. Obvious things are I can't use my left arm at all. Um, and that being said, my left arm has pain in it um, ever since I can remember. I don't ever remember not having pain in the arm. Um, that's just one thing that I deal with on a daily basis. I do not take meds for it because, well, basically I don't want to be drugged up on meds all the time. I've compensated for a lot of things in my life. Heck, I was a firefighter for 14 years, for crying out loud. Um, uh, I compensate every day of my life for everything I do. Um, my doctor says that my body works twice as hard as anybody with a normal body because of the fact that I can't use my left arm. Um, so I have to compensate with lifting and doing everyday chores. Everything I have to compensate with. Um, Now I'm finding cooking is another interesting thing I'm trying to compensate with. Um, I'll get back to cooking in a little bit though. Along with the arm, my left leg has weakness in it, whereas whenever I get tired and if I'm not thinking about it, I have to be thinking all the time about my left leg, otherwise it'll actually kick out and I'll walk with my foot kicked out to the side the whole time. So if I get real tired, that happens, and if I'm not thinking about it, it'll happen. So that's just a small part of things. As far as compensating is concerned, doing everyday chores, like for instance, cooking. I'll use cooking for an example. Have you ever tried, uh, say, chopping up an onion with one hand only, with not being able to use your other hand at all to help hold it? I uh, I tend to use a food processor that chops it up for me. I don't like doing it that way, but that's about the only way I know of to do it. I'm trying to figure out how to build myself a because they don't have it on the market. I need to build something to actually hold the fruit or vegetable or whatever it is in place, like some sort of clamping mechanism that I can just run my knife through and then unclamp it, twist it, and then run my knife through it again so it'll chop it up finely like you see on TV and whatnot. Um, I I have a lot of troubles in that respect. I'm I'm not that mechanically inclined to be able to build such a thing, but I have friends that are gonna be looking at trying to help me build something, and I did build one thing myself. Uh, on pots and pans, they're another thing that's kind of hard to do. Whenever you're actually cooking and you have to stir something up, like chili or something, whenever you're stirring it, and you can't hold on to it with your other hand, the pan just kind of moves around, and it'll actually come off the burner and everything. So I have to constantly be pushing that back onto the burner. I did come up with a solution for that. I went to Walmart and I bought I went into the craft section. They had wood slats there. So I built myself a little box that has two prongs that come up and hold the pot in place. It holds the pot handle. And now that works with pots that have longer handles, but pots that have like saucepans, the bigger saucepans that has the short handles, that's not going to work with. So I'll have to modify that sometime to work with that. And I also need to come up with, because that's not a perfect thing to have, I need to come up with a couple big suction cups, I guess, for the bottom of that thing. I mean really big suction cups, like maybe 2-inch to maybe even 4-inch suction cups on that, to be able to hold that down to the stove so that the box doesn't move at all. Let's see, other things. Well, doing laundry's a little hard at times. With the fact that a lot of times, or well, sometimes the clothes get tangled, and you need to have two hands to untangle them. More or less, I put all my clothes in a dresser because I can't hang them up on a hanger myself. Now I'm sure there's ways to do that, I just haven't found it yet. Also, folding clothes is a real big problem. But I get by. My father hangs my clothes up for me a lot of times. The stuff that needs hanged up. So I'm going to cut this off. We're going to go to part 2 next.